Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel. It's PJ Paola Jasmine Gonzalez. Welcome to my channel. I'm on my way to work. It's Monday, October. One moment. Okay, it was the third, October 4th, 2021. And today I want to talk about what it means to be trans, at least from my perspective. That there's no one clear path that every trans person has to follow. There are certain steps that you will follow, but there's not like a standard path that everybody has to follow. Not everybody follows the same path. Everybody has different background and history. It's one thing for sure. It's not an easy path, regardless. Whether you're starting to transition early in life or later in life, it's not an easy one, honestly. Mostly because it can be difficult to deal with cis people, and depending where you live, I live in Puerto Rico my whole life, most of my life, because I live in New York. I moved to New York in 2004. Before that, I lived mostly in Puerto Rico for most of my life, and in Puerto Rico, I was back when I was growing up, there was no internet as it is now today, where you can find resources that can help you out when you come out. But back then there were not many. The only trans person that I remember was Samantha Love, who was interviewed on TV a few times. But also I remember the reactions of my parents. So it's like, why would I come out when I know that I'm probably not going to be accepted by my parents, and I'm going to probably get I can run the chance of getting killed, so I hide how I was feeling for a long time, and even coming out was not easy. Back when I came out around 2007, 2008, but at that point I was 7 years, and being far away from my immediate family made it a little bit easier, because I didn't have to deal with certain situations. I didn't have to deal with family members, even my parents trying to tell me not to do it and all that kind of stuff. I was going to do it anyways. I was thinking about this when I was in high school. It was just a matter of time of finding when and where I could transition. And to me, the biggest thing for me was because I'm 5'7", so I was being concerned about my body type, how are people going to perceive me, and whether I'm going to be accepting my new gender, So those things for me were the most difficult things, and so I thought that I had to teach on my masculinity outside, every masculine has to go away. But I have come to find out little over time, and this is from little by little being introspective within myself, that is not necessarily the case. But I have also been told by some people that, oh, why did you transition? You have so much masculine energy. You like wrestling. I mean, I'm wrestling something that it has no gender. Anybody can like wrestling, man, woman, anybody can like wrestling, So why do I have to deal with people questioning my gender based on something that I like? It's like if people like chocolate, some people like chocolate, some don't. So I'm going to be judged because I don't like chocolate, it's pathetic in my opinion. It's stupid. It should not happen. So that was one of the things. And then looking myself in the mirror, and I like lifting weights back then. I still like lifting weights, And to me, oh, but what if I don't look very pretty? What if I don't look very thin, or things like that, So I had to realize that, oh, wait a second. Women coming out size and shape, so I had to accept my body type. I'm a big woman, I'm a big powerful woman, and it's okay to be this way. And that was one of the things that I had to accept, and that I struggled a lot with when I came out of the closet. That was one of the biggest things that I struggled. Also, I have the other thing that I didn't like was like even the community, the community feel accepting. There were certain things in the community that um, I didn't like. You know, some people in the community can judge you. Unfortunately, there's people in the community, in the trans community, that will judge you and will just tell you, "Oh, you cannot be trans if you don't do this or that." You know, which is ridiculous. Number one, and number two, it shouldn't happen in the community because everybody has their own experiences. So like, we have to. And gender is a spectrum, and you know, you can just like, you need to find where you fit in that spectrum, and that is what works for somebody else may not work for somebody else. You know, everybody's different. You know, and so that was one of the biggest things too. You know, having to do with people that in the trans community that will also judge you based on your looks, based on how you're dressed, and it can hurt, honestly. Like, I remember, I think the biggest one that hurt me one time, but even though I was still feeling kind of like comfortable with my own body type, it still hurt nevertheless, because I was at a bar, and it's one of those bars that it's a safe place for the GLBT community in where I lived. I was in the bar, and I was in Carrick, and I was wearing one of those tops that shows my arms, and I had a person sitting next to me asking for a drink, and he looks at my arm and he goes like, "Oh honey, you need to cover your arms, because I'm about the glamour and all that kind of stuff, but you need to cover your arms." And it's like what about my arms? What's wrong with them, you know? And there's nothing wrong with my arms. It's like they were telling me to do something that it was based on their perspective on what a woman should look like, and I was proud of my arms because I was working out, and it's like it's still having some definition, you know. I like it. So it was hurtful because it's like, oh gosh, I have to change to be accepted by my own community too? This is ridiculous. And I think it's unfair when another trans person, or even somebody from the LGBT community, judges a trans person for how they look like. It's really upsetting, and it's really sad, and it definitely shouldn't happen. We should be supporting each other, you know. And I just don't like that, honestly. And over time, like, to me, like, feeling comfortable to the point that I can step in a restaurant ring, wear things that are in spandex, you know, still show my arms and be comfortable with who I am, you know, because that's the thing, being comfortable with how I look in the ring, you know. To me, it's empowering, you know, and I'm totally happy with my character in wrestling, with the way that I look. I'm comfortable. Like, I bought this yesterday in the women's section. It's a camo. I like camo color, so I bought it, and you know, I like this. I like the way it looks, you know. It's my own style, and it's okay to be this way, and it's okay to be strong. It's okay to be my body type, you know. So yeah, like, and the other thing is like doing feminine things, you know, like, so back in 2007, I used to be told by some people, "Oh, you need to curl your hair," and all that kind of stuff. I never liked curling my hair. So I like the way that my hair is, you know. I like the way that it looks, you know. It's straight hair. I like the way that it looks. I'm happy with my straight hair. I don't need to curl it. I get it. Some women like to curl their hair. Fine. I just don't like doing that, you know. I don't need to do it to be a woman. Makeup is another thing, you know. Like, to me, today I'm wearing eyeliner, but that was my decision today. But sometimes I don't wear makeup, you know. And again, it's a decision, you know. Some women wear makeup, some women don't, you know. It's not like a requirement that you have to wear makeup all the time. Dresses and heels, you know. I work a job that I have to be walking all the time for 8 hours. wearing heels is not an option unless I want to have my feet and my ankles destroyed completely from walking in high heels for 8 hours in a concrete floor. Not not needed. You know, if I were working in a factory, I would have to wear steel-toe shoes and or boots. And most of the time, I just find steel-toe boots because they're cheaper. So you just have to wear that. You know, you have to conform to the workplace. You know, and what is comfortable. And I go over comfort versus looking like too pretty. You know, and practicability too, because a dress may get in the way. You know. Heels are only going to like get in the way of doing my job, so yeah, no heels needed. You know, I don't need to. You don't need to either. You know, it's. I guess it's all about balance and figuring out where you fit in the spectrum, and little by little finding comfort in who you are as a person, and nobody else can tell you where that is. You know, you have to figure that out on your own. The same way that I figured that out on my own, where I stand and I've come to accept myself, you know, it's the same way that anybody that decides to transition has to find their own comfort, you know. Nobody can tell you what you need to do. Nobody can tell you where you fit or what you should do. It's a personal decision, you know. And whatever decision you make, it's okay, and it's a good one. It's just a question of like we humans maybe put in our gender, our ideas of gender to the side. You know, I feel like that's what will make things better for the community and for people that are transitioning. When we can stop being too narrowed about our own ideas of gender, because I feel like that is the problem that we as trans people experience. You know, it's like the gender ideas that were engraved by society, by media. They are too restrictive in some cases. You know. So yeah, and that's it. That's my opinion, and I'm pretty sure that people may have their own opinion. You're welcome to comment if you have a different input, or what you like to contribute, or do you agree with my views? You know, it's my point of view. Again, that's my personal point of view. You know, and to me, it's my personal perspective because it happens to me in life, and it's what has made me to this point. You know, I'm happy in my own skin. I'm comfortable in my own skin. Though sometimes every now and then I still get self-doubt, and I actually there are days that I feel depressed and that I feel like I don't want to deal with people, or I'm afraid of interacting with people because I don't know I'm going to be treated, you know. And getting misgendered sucks, like there's no doubt about that, but getting to a point where I am, you know, this is what I have come to realize on my own, you know. And finding a level of comfort has not been easy, you know. It took me a while, and it can take anybody a while to figure that out. Anyway, so what do you all think? What's your opinion on this topic? I hope you like the topic, and hopefully maybe tomorrow we'll talk about something different. Anyway, peace out everybody, stay safe, get vaccinated. I'm planning on getting my booster shot sometime this week, so we'll see about that. Anyway, bye everybody.